Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another horror dissection video. Let me know what you think about the title. It doesn't flow very well. I don't know if I like it. Right, this is where I talk about kind of the most influential and or controversial movies within the horror genre and their influence on the genre. These are not reviews, so I'm not going to give you my personal thoughts too much, and if I do, obviously I will state that it's my opinion before I do. So given the very sad and unfortunate passing of Tobe Hooper on Saturday, I thought it would be appropriate to talk about one of his films, Poltergeist. And actually my first my first of these videos last Tuesday was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So Poltergeist came out in 1982 and was directed by Tobe Hooper / Steven Spielberg, which I'll get into in a second. But in case you guys don't know, which I don't know why you wouldn't, Poltergeist is about a family living in California who become victims of a haunting, which leads to the youngest of the family being whisked away into the TV, and the family has to band together to get her back. So like I said, Poltergeist was directed by Tobe Hooper. There is some controversy and debate over who really directed the film. As it stands right now, Tobe Hooper is the credited director, with Steven Spielberg being credited for writing the screenplay and producing the film. Although there are accounts from the cast members that Spielberg was way more involved in the directing process than he was given credit for, but he was also directing E.T. at the time, and I read something that in his contract for E.T., it said he was not allowed to direct another feature while he was directing E.T., so that's why he doesn't have the directing credit or something. I don't know. From what I could read, he was pretty heavily involved in directing as well as Hooper, but Spielberg wanted Tobe Hooper on board after seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so that's kind of what got him the job on Poltergeist. Another really widely talked about topic on Poltergeist is the weird goings on that happened while filming, and other kind of strange and spooky things like the skeletons that were used in the pool scene being real skeletons and the odd and sad and many deaths of the cast members that happened obviously post Poltergeist. But a lot of the cast members, a lot of them really prematurely died after the making of Poltergeist. Some right after, some a little bit down the road, or strangely around the releases of the sequels of Poltergeist. So it's got kind of like a dark, creepy cloud hanging over it, given the circumstances of the production. As far as reception of Poltergeist goes, it was the highest grossing film of 1982, and it was like the 8th worldwide for a while. Or was it worldwide or in the US? I can't remember now. I didn't write that part down. I should have. But it was widely popular. It was nominated for many awards, but lost a lot of them to Spielberg's other feature that came out that same year, which was E.T. Say what you want about whether he directed it or not, but Spielberg had a really fucking good year, 1982. And, you know, upon its release, it was praised by critics then, praised by critics now, and it's labeled as one of the classic horror films. It's on almost every single must-see horror movie list that I've ever seen. It is hands down a classic. Like most classic horror films, it's definitely had an influence on the genre. It's definitely had an influence on the genre, especially kind of the supernatural type of horror films, or the haunting, whatever you want to call that kind of like subgenre, I guess. I don't know if you call it like ghost movies or haunting movies or something like that. I don't know. But it's definitely had an influence on the genre in that way. It's been parodied so many times, especially by like cartoons like Family Guy and things like that, have parodied Poltergeist many times. And one of the most kind of like direct products of Poltergeist influence that I could think of when I was thinking of, you know, things that may have been influenced by Poltergeist was Insidious. If you think about it, it's about a family that goes to great lengths to save their son who has been whisked away to another dimension, and it has to do with the supernatural and ghosts and things like that. So without Poltergeist, we may not have had Insidious. And say what you want about the sequels, the first one is pretty good though. So is the third one. Don't really like the second one. Anyways, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Poltergeist and how it has added to or influenced your horror journey. And again, please let me know what you think of this type of video, if you like it, if you want me to stop doing it and come up with something else to do on Tuesdays. And I want to thank you all so much for your super kind words last week when I asked for feedback. I was like, please guys, please let me know if something doesn't work. And I think like 2 of you gave me some criticism, which I'm not saying I didn't like. I really appreciated it. Thank you. But most of you guys kind of just, you know, were super nice about it. So I do appreciate that. And like I said, I am working with the format of this a little bit, so bear with me. I will find a way that works and that flows, and then we'll stick with it once I find it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It'll let me know you liked it and if you want to see more of these. If you're new here, subscribe and become a Creepy Peep today. I post new videos Monday through Friday. And thank you so much for watching. And until next time, stay strange. Bye.